Minkai, as many of you know, has been up here to the States 11 times. Many of you have met us as we've traveled and spoken on different speaking tours. Ompore, Jenny reminded me, has also been up here 5 times when they came up this time. And I know that a lot of people wonder why they came. Actually, the initial motivation was they heard, or actually I think Minkai had a dream that I had been hurt, and so they left the jungles and went to Shell and looked up a mutual friend of ours, Gallo, who runs ITEC Ecuador, and asked him if it was true that I had been hurt. And he had just gotten word by email, and he said yes. And they said, we want to see him on the computer. So Gallo got in touch with us by Skype. I was still in the hospital, and I was able to communicate with Minkai. And then Ompore said, we want to come and see you. So we arranged for them to come up here with Gallo and his wife, Eugenia. And I realized then that they really thought that I was going to die, and that their primary purpose in coming up here is they wanted to make sure that Jenny was going to be okay. And then after spending 6 weeks with us, Minkai started saying, I'm going to go back to the jungles, but he would say to Jenny and me, if Baba dies, meaning if I die, he said, it's okay, he'll wait for us in heaven, but Onginkama will come and we'll take you back to live with us. And in fact, he started calling Jenny Mama. He would say, you're the mama, and Ompore and Baba and I are the babies, because I can't really do much for myself, and they can't do much for themselves up here. And I have a sneaking suspicion that he would take really good care of Jenny, but I think he's also thinking that Jenny knows how to make cookies and cupcakes and milkshakes, and I think he would really like to take her down to the jungles, thinking, boy, we could really live well if we could get Jenny to come down here and live with us again. People ask me often how Minkai became a true God follower and how we became family. You know, I tell people that Minkai adopted me. I got both of these answers from Aunt Rachel's journals after she died in 1994. The way that Minkai came to faith, Aunt Rachel wrote in her journal, is that after she went out and she and Dayuma started explaining what the Bible says about God creating everything, the Waorani believed that immediately because they knew that Wangungi was the creator. But Minkai went to her house, her little hut, late one night, just the fire glowing, and he said, Nemo, can Wangungi make even me clean? You know, can he clean me, like we would say, can he clean my heart? And Aunt Rachel said, Minkai, making all the ridges that are high and all the animals and the birds and the fish, yes, he is powerful. Damn, and he can make you clean too. And Minkai came back a little while later, I think probably a few days, and said, Nemo, it's true. Wangungi has started making me clear so that I can see his trail. And that's how he began to walk God's trail. And then Minkai also got very upset one day and asked Aunt Rachel why I was so ignorant. I couldn't build a house, I couldn't pull a canoe, I couldn't make poison from my darts, and I couldn't shoot a blowgun. And Aunt Rachel said, Minkai, you having spear killed his father, who do you say should teach him to live? And Minkai, again, she wrote in her journal, he left, but he came back that same day, very enthusiastic, and he said, Nemo, it's true, having spear killed his father, I myself will teach him how to live. And that's how we became family. Jenny and I now have 17 grandchildren, 7 of whom live just through the woods, just a little ways away. Ompore and Minkai love to play with our grandchildren, and the grandkids love to play with Minkai and Ompore. If anybody doubted if we were family, they would only have to see our grandkids playing with Minkai and Ompore. In fact, one of our grandsons is named John Minkai, and he knows that Minkai is really special to him, especially special because he's named after Minkai. So he was just always hugging and loving on him. But the kids would take them out into the woods and show them things. And then Ompore realized that our kids don't know how to live down in the jungles much like I did. So she would take them out. And this is a woven basket that one of our granddaughters made with Ompore's instruction from a palm frond. Minkai taught them how to climb trees with a climbing vine. One of the most special things that happened in my memory while Minkai and Ompore was up here is that we were at church one day, and it was Communion Sunday, and I was sitting way in the very back where they had a cutout in one row for a wheelchair. So I told Jenny that they would dismiss us by rows to go down and have communion. So I told Jenny that I would meet her at the end of the row when they dismissed them. But as soon as Minkai saw me starting to push myself in the wheelchair, he got up right away and went and started pushing me. And he didn't know where we were going, but I would show him by pointing my feet, and I pointed to the end of the row. And as Minkai and then my son Sean pushed me down to have communion, I thought, this is a story that nobody would believe unless it really was true, that the man who killed my father and my own son would together push me down to have communion and celebrate what God, who has made us truly brothers, the same Father, the same blood. People would have a hard time believing that was true, but it's happened. And I thank God for Minkai and Ompore and for the other Waorani who are our friends and fellow God followers.